Hello, people of the internet. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and happy Saturday to you all. Hopefully, your weekend is off to a great start, or if you're watching this at any other point in the week, hopefully, having a great day nonetheless. For the first time in 2 weeks, once again, we are making a return over to the world of OSTs one time for episode number 20 of OST Saturday here on the channel. We're gonna start. I am recording this a little bit before 6, just so I don't have to record through my dinner time and stuff. So we're gonna start with some of the late March releases. We're gonna, we still have a little bit more to go through in terms of our little catch up from while I was away. And I think this week and next week should finish up all the catch up stuff, which works in my favor because then I don't have to worry about that list anymore. But we're gonna rewind the clock about 3 months ago, one or a couple more times, including this time. So on the list today, quite short. It's a 4-song list, which again works in my favor because we have this week's stuff to get through, or I guess these past 2 weeks' OSTs to get through. We got Miss Heize, we got Miss HYNN, Miyeon of I-DLE, and then finishing off with a little bit of Jungwoo one time. So let's get started, shall we? Here we go. Right, hopefully this window will actually let a breeze in now. Right, enough stalling. We gotta go, so let's move on, shall we? Track number 1, no, that's for albums. Song number 1 with Miss Heize and Hold Me Back from Queen of Tears. We're back again on Queen of Tears. This show provided some absolutely magnificent OSTs, and, well, I mean, knowing what Heize can do vocally, yeah, I reckon this will be a good time as well. Let me fix the volume and stuff, and it's just Sunday one time. Here we go. Cool reverb.
비겁해 난 또 뒤돌아 너에게 등을 져 지금도 이렇게 많은 말이 삼킨 채 단 한 발자국 거리만 남긴 채
That is such a cool way they mix the guitar part. It's so mellow. Kind of like what Heize's voice is like. Quite prominent increase there for the chorus. Cool little skipping motion from Heize's vocal there. Yeah, the song has been mixed in such a mellow way. It's very unique. And one of those things that you really could only do in the OST world. It's amazing how soft and like really delicate that verse section is. But when it grows, it still retains that mellowness, but it's more pronounced. Flip up, nice. nice, super gentle release with the octave layering now. What a clean little flip there, too. And the way the song kind of dissipates afterwards, it feels like a water droplet hitting a big mass of water, or just kind of it like splashes away, and that's really cool. And the thing is, Hold Me Back for me, it's a very pretty song, and I quite like it already on the premise that it's a very pretty song. But it's the way that it's been produced that I really like. There's so many cool little details that it almost musically paints a picture in just the way like the song kind of flows, the way the sounds dissipate, the way the different lines blend together, the way certain moments are pronounced. It's very complex, but everything is done with such clarity that listening to it is so easy, but it's so many layers going on to it that you just can't help but appreciate how well it's been put together. Love that. Try and keep this a little bit snappy so we don't take too long. Number 2, Miss HYNN. So back to back, pretty high quality vocals. That's putting it lightly. With Memory from Nothing Uncovered. Not sure what this show is about. If it is a show, hopefully it is, because it says part 1. I don't think we've covered anything from Nothing Uncovered yet. If we have, I don't remember whose song it was, but it's HYNN's vocals, so I reckon we're gonna get some nice high vocals, and let's just find that. Here we go. It's just ever so slowly growing little by little, isn't it? Huge release. Hold it. And bring it back in. Wow. That string section is cool. It just like, it almost like it has a heartbeat. It pulses. Sometimes it'll come in really smooth waves. Like, and then sometimes it just kind of boom, pumps in. Nice raise up into that high register for the violins. It's been a lot more of that boldness in her tone now. And no slowdown at the end of the chorus here. That's a very orchestral riser right there. At the instrumental parts, just a little bit of a stutter step here and there. There it is. There's the high note we were waiting for. And there's the release at the end. Orchestral songs are so easy for me to just listen to, and it's entirely down to personal experience. I mention this all the time, but I grew up playing violin. I'm very familiar with how the type of music works, orchestral music, how it works, where it's going to have a horizon, where we're going to get a little bit more rhythm work coming in, where we're going to get more accented notes, where we're going to get a nice run in. But one thing is for certain, HYNN's voice, with all that power and all that richness, works so well for a string section, because her voice doesn't have like that huge, like wide vibrato that, say an opera singer would have, but her tone is just naturally very big. She uses vibrato when she needs to, but when she puts the hammer down, you feel every ounce of that vocal power. And to my ears, it listens very similar to how a violin works for me, where you can make it very pretty, very fluttery, very airy, but when you really get some power into it, you feel that entire power of the sound that's generated from a not very big instrument, all things considered, right? A violin, I mean, probably about 45-ish centimeters or so. I don't actually know how long it is. It's been a hot minute, but it's not the biggest instrument in the world. But when you get a lot of them together and you really get them like bowing away with a lot of power, it's loud. HYNN's voice is very reminiscent of that, and that's why I tend to lean towards a lot of her OSTs, is that she really makes her voice not sound like just a voice, but part of the instrumental section as well. Never get tired of her high tones, man. Never do. But we gotta keep her moving. Next up, Miss Miyeon of I-DLE with the song You and I for My Siblings Romance. Miyeon, pretty distinct vocal. She's got a very unique vocal color in the I-DLE lineup that there aren't really any overlapping tones in I-DLE, but Miyeon for me has always had a pretty distinct vocal color, and I'd probably say she's the one that suits OSTs. Her and Minnie probably are the ones that suit OSTs the most, at least from the ones that we've listened to. So I'm very excited for it. Here we go. It's short. Not even 2.5 minutes. It's got a lot of pace to it. Hold on. It does have kind of a pace to it. Hold on. It's cooking a little bit. Then let it peter away. Okay, so the beat does get a little bit snappier, it feels like, in the pre-chorus. Interesting. Because we got the full release here in the chorus, and it's like, okay, I see where we get here, but it's a very mid-heavy song, isn't it? Lots of vocal layering going on, too. Yeah, even in this bridge section, with that constant, with that constantly moving bass, it's still such a middle-loaded song. And I guess because of it, it does feel pretty light on its feet. And with the pace being a decently fast rate, it listens pretty nicely. That's where they end the song. The song definitely listens like it's 2.5 minutes, but I mean, it's got a nice, decent, snappy pace to it. It's plenty bright enough where it doesn't really feel like it's gonna start getting sluggish anytime soon. It's kind of a song that just goes, and even though it'll go through phases with like, that pre-chorus and the bridge and stuff, it just kind of continues at the rate that it started with, and it doesn't really ever feel like that's going to change, which is nice. It makes listening to it a lot easier. There aren't too many moving parts throughout the song, which is also easy to listen to. Essentially, whatever you get through the song is pretty much always going to be there, whether it's, Miyeon's main vocal with layered background vocals or that constant moving bass line, or the really, really subtle, gentle electric guitar thrown in there as well. You don't really stray away from that kind of set formula, so to speak, too often. And because of it, the song listens pretty consistently. Like, even though there's that noticeable jump in energy at that chorus, it still listens pretty neutral. It doesn't feel like there's really anything hiding away at any point that's meant to surprise the listener. And it's just an easy OST. And sometimes the again, I don't know what the context of the show is, but considering it's titled My Siblings Romance, I'm gonna guess that there's some happy, some sad, some feelies going on. And there's just something about, romance-based shows, or like rom-coms especially, that produce such easy to listen to music. It's almost like it's the representation of the human emotion, right? Romance, a little bit giddy, a little bit bubbly, a little bit excited, but a little bit nervous as well. So you don't want to like jump out at them too much. So it's, even shows like Transit Love with Jungwoo's I Want to Know earlier this year. That's a bright song, and it doesn't hide anything. There's no like uncertainty. It's just kind of showing off the highs of that human emotion, and you and I is kind of on the similar track of that. So nice. And then finally, we make our way back to Fubao and Grandfather. I believe Sugi had an OST for this, like early on in the year, or it might have been actually technically right after this in April, because it was one of the first OSTs that I listened to this year. But Mr. Jungwoo of NCT has done an OST for this show, I think. The song title, Smile Goodbye. All right, here we go. Oh, it's gonna be soft, isn't it?
언젠가 올 걸 알았어 바라지 않았던
This is actually gonna be a good learning experience for me, because Jungwoo is one of the 127 members I'm not very well versed in musically.
내게 위로가 되어준 너와의 시간은 참 꿈만 같았지 내게 손 내밀던 순간도 마지막 이별의 그날도 내 마음에 꼭 담아둘 테니 힘들고 또 지친 날들에 우리에게
Cool textural thing going on. It feels like his voice is swelling.
같은 너를 늘 기억할 거야
Like his vowels are getting more fuller as the chorus goes. That's cool.
환하게
weird wind instrument. At least I think. Oh no, we're just gonna start verse 2 in the pre-chorus. Cool. And that release is so pronounced, yet it's so delicate and so soft that it's not that big release, it just kind of rolls into it. Ooh, tasty chord change there. Oh, and it goes down instead of taking it up there, okay. Nice. Nice. That release, again, it just kind of rolls into it. It's not one of those where it just goes... Key change? That's like the, I think for me, the first major like boom in your face moment in the song. Everything else just kind of naturally rolls into place, and that's really cool. And back to the major chord to finish. That's so nice. That's so nice. I've also noticed on screen it says in big letters part 1, so this was the first, so you would have come afterwards. Yeah, that's terrific. It's the this type of OST is really interesting to listen to because it's so inviting in that it doesn't really try to pull any hidden tricks or try any funny business. In fact, it's so gentle on the transitions that it doesn't kind of come at you full force at the moment you expect it to. It's like a wave gently rolling up the beach instead of crashing against the breakwater. And when you have the type of song where it's supposed to be kind of comforting, it also, that has that bittersweet but thankful, that kind of emotional value to it. You don't really, I mean, you can do it, but this is like a very gentle way of portraying that emotion where it's not just, boom, we're gonna load you all with, human emotion right away. We're gonna slowly wean it in so as to not overwhelm you right away. And with how soft Jungwoo can make his voice, yeah, it suits him so well. And I was thinking through this, like, yeah, I don't really know Jungwoo's solo voice all that well, but I know him in a unit sense through, DJJ last year. And considering how kind of buttery smooth their music was, and, knowing what Jaehyun and Doyoung can do, it's just like a process of elimination, and honestly, it kind of suits him. It's very nice. And he's got a naturally very calming voice to me. Like, Jungwoo, whenever, he had some of those really soft-held, long vowel words throughout the choruses, it's so captivating, yet so friendly and so nice. And that's really cool. Honestly, that's a solid lineup of OSTs. I know we kind of kept it a little bit shorter, because I didn't, want to ramble a whole lot, but anyway, that's a terrific spread. Very impressive vocals across the board, really. Very different vocals across the board, but very impressive vocals nonetheless. And, even though Miyeon's song was a little bit brighter, pretty emotionally delicate songs across the board today, too. Very pretty, lots of ballady stuff, which, if you know me, you know I love a good ballad. So, thumbs up, double thumbs up from me, and that only leaves, I think, 4 more OSTs from the month of March to catch up on. So that'll be next week, if unless something happens throughout the week and we don't do OST Saturdays next week. So that is going to be it for me today. Thank you all for watching along with me, hopefully, or listening along with me. Hopefully, you enjoyed it as much as I did. One last request from me today: let us work together as a community to bring a little bit of extra happiness back into the world, whether it be checking with your friends and family, holding the door open for somebody, and picking up a piece of trash off the street. Just one small act of kindness to may brighten up someone else's day to day. And know that wherever you are in the world, should you ever be going through a tough time in your life, for whatever reason it may be, even though I'm just some guy on the internet who waffles about music in his free time, know that I'll always be a friend, ally, a shoulder to lean on whenever you need me. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other, spread the love, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.